Shalom everybody. This is my second edition of News Information, brought to you by my mom-in-law's iPad. It's a nice perk about living here. I can use her iPad, and it's very helpful. Now, today's recording is taking place, let me zoom out, on the biblical Hebrew calendar. Today is the 29th. On the Gregorian calendar, today is September 6th, and I want to inform you, in case you don't know, that, whoopsie, on the 30th, right there, when the sun goes down tomorrow, on the Sabbath, the day will be Yom Teruah, the first day of the 7th month. Yom Teruah, the day of trumpets, day of shouting. Teruah is to shout or make noise, to blow a trumpet. And that will be a day of, it's like a high Sabbath. You don't do any work on it. And then 10 days later will be Yom Kippur. And then 5 days after that, we will have Sukkot, which is a 7-day feast. And then after Sukkot, you have the last great day, which is also a day of rest, along with Yom Kippur as a day of affliction and so forth. So these are our holy days. These are our fall feasts coming up, in case you did not know that. If you want to see this calendar, you can go to aroodawakening.tv/biblical-Hebrew-calendar. And it will give you today's date alongside the solar Gregorian calendar. The Hebrew biblical calendar is a lunar calendar. Now, on to the news. Today, well, actually yesterday, it was reported that Russian warships are crossing Bosphorus en route to Syria. We have that. Okay, this particular article you can read at endtimeheadlines.wordpress.com, and there's a really long link. I'll tell you what, I'll put it in the description if you want to look into that. But yeah, there you have it. Now also, the same day, and this I have this article on beforeitsnews.com. The headline is, China sends warships to Syria, joining Russian warships in the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, and there's their warships right there. Okay. Now, the reason I'm sharing this, let me read this particular part. It says, China has reportedly sent warships to the coast of Syria to observe the actions of U.S. and Russian ships as tensions build in preparation for a potential military strike on Syria, which could come as soon as next week. Now, let me point this out. Yom Teruah on the Gregorian calendar is quote-unquote Sunday, but it's on sundown this Sabbath, this Saturday. That's actually tomorrow from this recording. So next week, technically, is Sunday. Sunday, all day long until sundown, will be Yom Teruah. Now, on my previous news and information video, I talked about Zechariah chapter 5 and Isaiah, Yeshayahu, chapter 17, talking about possible nuclear strike against Damascus, or at least Syria. And I want to kind of expand on that, as this is all kind of happening. Russia and China do not like the United States of America. And it's nothing to laugh at, it's just one of those kind of things, because I live in America. Now, I want to point out a couple of things biblically as to why this is something that I found that should be shared. Now, this article, a very good read, an interesting read. A few things I didn't agree with, but that's life. If you want to check this out for yourself, again, the description, the link is going to be in the description, but the article is www.cuttingetge.org/news/N2066.cfm. The article is about the kings of the East. Okay, so, this is Revelation chapter 9, verses 13 through 16. And the sixth angel sounded, or sixth messenger, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which was before Elohim, saying to the sixth angel that had the trumpet, Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men, or a third of mankind on the face of the earth. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, which is 200 million, by the way. And I heard the number of them. This is Yochanan talking, John, and this is him describing what he heard and saw, and so on. This article goes on to explain that specification that the four angels were loosed. They were bound, but they were loosed, and they were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year to do what it is that they are supposed to be doing. This says, note the word bound. The meaning of the word bound in the original Greek is dio, Strong's number 1210. The word carries a meaning other than imprisoned. The secondary meaning is an obligation to a higher authority. And so this particular passage specifies that there is one very specific day in a specific month, in a specific year, at a specific hour, that they are foreordained to actually carry out what it is that they've been commissioned to do. So they are bound to this mission. This is what they are going to do. Now, let me read on. Here we go. Okay, Revelation 16:12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up. I want to point out that they have dams there where they, if they so chose, they can actually stop the water flow in the Euphrates. That's one possibility. But it continues to say, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way or the road of the kings of the east might be prepared. Now, east of Israel is, in the east is typically known as Asia. You got, the Philippines, China, Japan, Vietnam, Korea, so on. What one country is so large that it could actually hold an army of 200 million men? Speculation would say that China, especially in this article, talks about this. Talks about the idea that China, they don't typically favor having girls. In fact, a lot of them secretly kill their infant girls, so in the hopes that they can actually have a boy. So it's very possible they could have, to this day, a 200 million man army. I don't know what their army is at this moment, but that, again, this is speculation. So this. Now, okay, I bring up China because, as I showed to you, the Chinese have sent in warships to the Mediterranean to observe whatever Russia and America do. Now, I also pointed out that Russia is, there it is, Russia has actually put warships in there. Now, I have another article here, and this will be my last thing. www.thepropheticyears.com/reasons/Russia.htm. This article is called Russia Will Invade Israel in the End Times. Let's see that there. That's their flag. This is by a man named Don Koenig. I guess that's how you pronounce that. My apologies. But the basic idea of this article is that Russia will invade Israel. I'll go ahead and read this. The scriptures indicate that a northern army will invade Israel in the last days. Bible scholars have traced the tribes and have determined that this northern army is led by tribes that have settled in Russia. This prophecy has never been fulfilled, so it will be fulfilled in the future. The details of this invasion from the north are given in Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39. Then you will come from your place out of the far north. Sounds like Russia, doesn't it, guys? And you and many peoples with you, all of them riding on horses in great company. You will come against my people, and he just kind of repeats what he says. Thus says Yehovah Eloheinu, are you he of whom I have spoken in former days by my servants, the prophets of Israel, who prophesied for years in those days that I would bring you against them? This next part, judgment on Gog. And it shall come to pass at the same time, when Gog comes against the land of Israel, says Yehovah Eloheinu, that my fury will show in my face. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath I have spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great earthquake in the land of Israel, so that the fish of the sea and the birds of the heavens and the beasts of the field, all creeping things that creep on the earth, and all men who are on the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. The mountains shall be thrown down, the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. I will call for a sword against Gog throughout all my mountains, says Yehovah Eloheinu. Every man's sword will be against his brother, and I will bring him to judgment, and pestilence, and bloodshed. I will rain down on him, on his troops, and on the many peoples who are with him. Flooding rain, great hailstones, fire, and brimstone. Thus I will magnify myself, and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations. Then they shall know that I am Yehovah. Now, it's a speculation. None of this may happen this year. We don't know. It looks like it really could happen, but the chain of events that may occur are that, and this is just a theory, okay, this is speculation, no revelation going on here, that quite possibly what may happen is America will attack Syria. Syria has promised, if you attack us, we are going to attack Israel. Israel has said, if you attack us, we're going to attack you right back, without hesitation. So what we may see from this, is just a theory, is that Syria will attack Israel, but what we will see Israel do is completely make Damascus a ruinous heap. From that, their use of certain weapons may get Russia to the point where they turn on America and, out of some form of justice, saying, you caused this. If you had stayed out like we told you, this would never have happened. So they attack America and get us out of the way. Then they will try to march their army down into Israel, where the Almighty Himself will defeat them, which is also going to be followed by China coming in from the east to go after Israel themselves. It's a theory. I would love any form of feedback from you guys in the comments section below, and I would appreciate it greatly if you brought in scriptures to back up whatever you think is a theory. But here, check out in the description, check out in the description box, you'll see all the links for everything I shared with you here. And the passages that I've been reading so far are Zechariah 5, Yeshayahu, Isaiah 17, Ezekiel 38 and 39. These are the points of interest. I believe that they are relevant for today. And also consider that next year, 2014, will begin on the feast days, blood moons. I think there's supposed to be 4 in total between 2014 and 2015. And the year 2015, I believe, is a Shemitah year. It is a sabbatical year. It's a year that the land of Israel is supposed to rest. It's not supposed to be touched. Keep that stuff in mind. Shalom. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your feedback. And if you, so a lot of this stuff I post up on Facebook. If you want to follow me, the links are also in the description. And if you are finding what I am saying informative in these news and information videos, let me know. Because these are very important things. Shalom.